Good evening. Welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okoro. It's been 500 days now since over 200 schoolgirls were kidnapped from their secondary school in Chibok, Borno State, northeast Nigeria. Deadly Islamic sect Boko Haram were blamed for the attack, which caused global outrage. Today, members of the Bring Back Our Girls group in Lagos State, southwest Nigeria, staged a march to commemorate the kidnap and remind government officials that the girls are yet to be found. Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode met with the advocacy group and promised better security measures for all schools in the state. The Bring Back Our Girls group started their campaign immediately after the abduction of the schoolgirls and has since gathered global support for putting pressure on the Nigerian government to find the girls. Nigeria Senate has started investigating the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Lamode, over the alleged diversion of over 1 trillion naira recovered by the commission. The Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions received documents tendered as evidence by the Anti-Graft Agency over allegations of fraudulent diversion by the EFCC chairman. The FCC boss was not present as the commission had written to the committee to ask for more time to be allowed to gather relevant documents. Lamode has since denied diverting assets recovered from corrupt officials, saying he is prepared to be probed. Managing Director of the Niger Delta Development Council, Basidan Abia, has denied that 183.7 billion naira is missing from the coffers of the commission, as stated in a government audit report. The Auditor General of the Federation, Samuel Ukuro, had last week said that about 183.7 billion naira was missing from NDDC's accounts. However, NDDC's boss, who spoke to State House correspondents after a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari, said that the Auditor General's claims are false. Abia explained that the NDDC and the Office of the Auditor General are reconciling the records. He said that although he was not the Commission's managing director during the period reviewed by the Auditor General of the Federation, he was ready to defend the Commission with available records. President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday said under his leadership he will look more closely with other countries facing the challenge of falling oil prices to move rapidly from dependence on crude oil exports for economic survival. Speaking at an audience with the new ambassador of Saudi Arabia to Nigeria, Fahad Abdullah Seifan, President Buhari affirmed his administration's commitment to faster development of Nigeria's non-oil sectors and the speedy diversification of the country's economy. A statement released by his spokesman, Femi Adesina, quoted the president as saying, "For more than 30 years, Nigeria has depended on oil as its major source of revenue at the expense of agriculture and other non-oil sector, which could have been the mainstay of the economy." End of quote. He said oil exporting countries facing similar challenges due to the downturn in the international price of crude oil should be working closer together. Following the deregistration of some political parties by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, under its former chairman, Professor Dahiru Jega, the NCP, which is the National Conscience Party, has gotten victory at the Court of Appeal to enable the registered parties to be reinstated by INEC. NCP had filed a case against INEC at the Federal High Court in Lagos.
This singular action of taking INEC to court, injunction granted against INEC, and proactively filed an appeal without delay, gave us room, NCP, as one of the registered political parties in Nigeria, to operate unhindered throughout the pendency of our case. This gives us the audacity to fly the banner of the party and contest various political positions in the last 2015 general election in the country, where we saw a very robust debate by our very much candidate in the person of Chief Martins Onofu. We are making a strong suggestion and strong demand that for the unconditional and immediate reinstatement by INEC without loss of status, right, or seniority of all political parties that have fallen victim of INEC ignoble, whimsical, and capricious deregistration exercise. Yes. Never again in the history of this country shall we witness or be subjected to a return of that dark era of anti-democratic dictatorship.
Amen.
In a civilized era and a civilized civilian era. We hope that the present leadership of INEC under the acting chairperson will not hesitate to do the needful and avoid any round of the litigation that where they will further be trashed, humiliated, and disgraced in the court. We will not relent until justice is done and seen to have been done in the application of this landmark judgment and victory over the obnoxious, dubious, and scandalous nature in which make other political parties obsolete.
We will not and we should not allow the political space to be contracted. Because once the political space is contracted, it leads to desperation. And once that desperation, the next thing is corruption. This generation of Nigerians should stand on their rights, should stand up to say that Nigeria is all of us. The issue of religion, the issue of tribe should not be used as a yardstick to measure who gets what and who gets where. And that's why in the United Democratic Party we have emphasized the issue of generational change. East, west, north, and south is not the issue. We need an apparatus of state that works, an apparatus of state that will accommodate everyone, an apparatus of state that will deliver the essential and fundamental needs of the creation of any state.
This very same case, the same legal principle, I'm not a lawyer, but the lawyer told me that this is the same legal principle that Gani defended all the way to the Supreme Court. Why should INEC come back with this obnoxious and dictatorial and corrupt deregistration? The agenda of INEC is very simple. Exclude the parties that represent the Nigerian people. Include only parties that represent the oppressors, so that the Nigerian people have no opportunity for a true democracy.
The All Progressives Congress says the petition written to President Muhammadu Buhari by the 16 PDP federal lawmakers from Rivers over the state's governorship election petition tribunal is, quote, deceitful, obstructionist and provocative, end of quote. In a statement issued in Abuja on Thursday by its spokesperson Lai Mohammed, the party said those who are blatantly obstructing the course of justice are the same ones who are trying to play the victim. The party urged the 16 PDP lawmakers to tell the people to stop constituting an obstacle to the course of justice by allowing the Rivers APC access to the election materials. The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, John Oyegun, says the party's victory at the just concluded general election calls for more sense of commitment and responsibility. Oyegun was speaking at the party's secretariat on Thursday in Abuja during a workshop organized for the party's auditors in all the 36 states of the federation. He said that as the party basks in the euphoria of its achievements during the election, it therefore befits members of the party to conduct themselves in a manner worthy of emulation at all times. Candidates that contested for various political parties in the just concluded 2015 general elections under the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Lagos State, southwest Nigeria, today protested the non-payment of mobilization funds during the election. The candidates trooped to the PDP secretariat on Thursday, singing various songs requesting for money allocated to them by the national executive of the party for mobilization during election campaign. According to them, the money was not released by the Lagos State executives headed by Tunde Shele.
As it is, our members are grieved that the last election, the logistic that was supposed to be for us, for the assembly members, were hijacked, not by Boko Haram, but by PDP members, PDP leaders. So we are appealing to them that they should give unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. What we are clamoring for is that whoever has that money should please bring it. That money, that fund has to do with destiny. It has to do with destiny, and we are appealing, we are calling on pressmen to help us do a kind of investigation so that what belongs to Paul will not go to Peter.
They told us to go and plan, you know, and money will be released to us that we can join to the money that we have on our own. We all know worldwide that elections is very expensive. But to our greatest amazement, we heard that other states, House of Assembly, collected their money. Lagos State was not given the money. What the National Secretariat told us was the money had been released to the State Secretariat in Lagos State. So we cannot at this moment say one or two, but we know that the money had been released to the Lagos State. And so if we are going to hold anybody responsible, we will hold a chairman of the Lagos State PDP responsible.
They have made their grievances, and I received a petition. I was copied by the minority leader on this allegation. I just want them to know that their grievances, we also note it, and it's part of the allegation that was tendered against the suspended chairman, who is yet to defend. So I just want our aspirants to cool it in the name of the party, so that we are looking into it and the National is also looking into it.
I am a bit embarrassed that despite the fact that these people have tendered their petition, one would have thought that they should have exercised some little patience, because we are looking into the petition. We are also, a copy of the petition to Ireland has been forwarded to the National Working Committee, which is also looking into it. But it is very unfortunate if some of our candidates, after they have lost the election, now realize that certain amount of money is supposed to have been given to them, which was not given to them and was given to their counterpart in other states. If eventually the investigation reveals that it is a true situation, then it is very, very, very unfortunate.
The Federation Account Allocation Committee (FAC) says it distributed the sum of 33.58 billion naira to the federal, state and local governments in the month of July. The committee also revealed a sharp decline of funds into the account as a result of the drop in the price of crude oil in the international market.
The gross statutory revenue, that's the total revenue available for distribution for the month of July, is 430.446 billion. After all the deductions, we have 411.867 billion. For value-added tax, gross amount generated 74.945 billion. After the cost of deduction is 71.947 billion. The breakdown will be provided to you by the Office of the Accountant General. Under the excess crude account, we have a current balance of $2.257 billion.
The Central Bank of Nigeria has approved the request of deposit money banks to provide loans to state governments to enable them to pay the backlog of their workers' salaries. A statement issued on Wednesday in Abuja by Muazu Ibrahim, CBN Director, Corporate Communications, disclosed this. According to the statement, the approval was based on the CBN's decision to consider ways of liquidating the outstanding staff salaries owed by state and local governments. Out of the 27 states involved, funds have been disbursed to just Zamfara and Kwara states, who met the requirements as required with their respective banks. The DMO says the debt restructuring was open to all the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. National Universities Commission has released a list of over 65 schools it described as illegal degree awarding institutions operating in Nigeria. Julius Okoje, who is NUC's Executive Secretary, warned that those who patronize the schools do so at their own risk. According to the NUC, certificates obtained from these institutions will not be recognized for the purpose of National Youth Service Corps (NYSC), employment, and further studies. We'll take a short break now. When we come back, we'll look at more stories. Don't go away.
Hello, you're welcome. You're watching the Funny White Man Show, which is the biggest, the brightest, and the most entertaining show in Africa.
Funny white man, funny white man, but this is where you talk, it's too much. Give me 5,000 man, that's you. It's too much. So you get it like, when she move along the street, yeah, me should like there, I'm going girl. You know, my own people, actually. Yeah, fine, it's fun. I enjoy it. And I'm one of those very few, I'm forever taking it personal. I will listen 160 million Nigerians are corrupt. How? I'm looking for it.
Yeah, but it's a growth, and this is the time to build business and know the pitfalls and know what to do and what not to do. But there are months where you get business and months.
You know how we do. How we tell you. We did the way you did.
Hello, you're welcome. You're watching Trending Matters on the Funny White Man Show. Of course, we will bring you trending issues just to entertain and tickle your fancy.
Welcome back. You're watching TV360 News now. To business stories, Transmission Company of Nigeria TCN says power generation in the country has reached an all-time high of 4,748 megawatts. This will be the first time power generation in the country will reach that amount. According to the TCN, the high power generation has led to the sustained steady increase of power that has characterized the electricity generation in the past 2 months. This is coming as the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission attributed the problems facing the power sector to corruption and poor budgeting. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has approved the merger between Heritage and Enterprise Banks. The approval comes just as the Federal High Court also approved the merger. Heritage Bank won the bid for the acquisition of Enterprise Bank about a year ago. Heritage Bank, had on October 15, 2014, completed the acquisition of Enterprise Bank after investing about 56 billion in the deal. A statement by Heritage Bank confirming the development said the bank was pleased with the final approval of the merger of the two institutions. Oil prices jumped more than 4.5% on Thursday after a rally in equity markets and an unexpected fall in U.S. crude inventories. But worries over the Chinese economy and a global oil glut kept the outlook uncertain. Oil markets moved up from a 6.5-year lows reached earlier this week, but investors are still worried about huge fuel oversupply, which is depressing oil for immediate delivery and filing stockpiles worldwide. Front month Brent was up $1.90 at $45.04 a barrel, while U.S. crude was up $1.80 at $40.40 a barrel. To international stories now, at least 20 migrants have been found dead in a lorry abandoned in a motorway laid by near the eastern border of Hungary, the Austrian authorities have said. The number of dead could be as high as 50. This is according to the police. Their bodies have already started to decompose. The lorry had been moved to an undisclosed location for detailed examination. Tens of thousands of migrants from conflict-hit states in the Middle East and Africa have been trying to make their way to Europe. To sports stories now, Olympic champion Usain Bolt has secured his second gold medal in the 2015 IAAF Championship after winning the 200-meter event with a time of 19.55 seconds. Justin Gatlin of the United States won silver with a time of 19.74 seconds, while South Africa's Jobo Dowana won bronze with a record of 19.87 seconds. This win makes Bolt the most successful athlete in the IAAF Championship with 10 gold medals. He won the 100-meter event with a time of just 9.79 seconds, just 1 second over Gatlin's 9.80 final time. Italian club AC Milan has confirmed the loan signing of Balotelli from Liverpool. Balotelli was signed for Liverpool from Milan 12 months ago in a £60 million deal, but has largely underperformed during his time at the club. The Italy international scored just once in 16 Premier League appearances as he failed to come to terms with the pace of the Premier League. He has now returned to Milan, where he has scored 30 goals in 54 appearances during his first spell at the club. The club owners say they have already instilled some rules in the terms of Balotelli's contract in order to checkmate his behavior. We've come to the end of news now. We thank you very much for joining us. I am Thelma Okoro.